Summary of the elements of great public speaking. How to be calm, confident, and compelling. The value of persuasive speaking. The next time you are in an audience at a presentation, take a moment to estimate the value of the time of everyone in the room. After the presentation, think about what the speaker actually communicated and how long the speech took, and then decide if the cost of the time was worth it. Usually it is not. Speakers tend to think their value is in the time they spend laboring in front of the crowd. However, the true value is in the content and the manner of delivery. No matter how important the information is, without memorable delivery the content will evaporate and have no effect. Fortunately, you can learn the skills you need to speak persuasively and memorably. 3 key criteria will help you identify the best topic for your presentation. First, you must know the topic deeply. This will give you confidence and ease in front of the audience, and enable you to handle distractions and interruptions. Second, you must care about it. The more you care, the better you will be able to communicate enthusiasm and urgency to your listeners, and the easier it will be for them to care. Third, select a topic you believe needs to be talked about, something you want to share with those gathered to hear you. It's okay if one of your reasons for selecting your topic is to impress or please your supervisor. Conquer your fear and be prepared. Being nervous when you stand up and speak in front of others is a normal human reaction. Stage fright is a concern about anything that could go wrong to spoil your performance. The best way to gain a sense of control and feel assured of success is to prepare thoroughly and then prepare some more. Find every possible venue for practicing speaking in public, including at your church and civic organizations. Use powerful visualization exercises to picture yourself making a compelling presentation. This will help build your confidence. Gathering information and fully understanding the context of your speech are critical steps. Do you know enough about your assigned topic to be effective, or can you suggest a new approach to the subject? How many people will be in your audience? Who is in the group and what are their expectations? What resources are available on site? Will there be other speakers? If so, get their names and contact information. What is the order of the speakers? Will you speak in the morning, after lunch, or in the evening? How much time will you be allotted? Will there be questions? Will the media cover the event? Are handouts expected? Do not skimp on the time you spend planning your talk. Once you have clearly decided on the type of presentation you're going to deliver, start gathering information and writing, based on whether you are expected to inform, persuade, motivate, or entertain. Write carefully and be concise. You can make a memorable impact in a very short time at the lectern. Your goal should be to finish before you are expected to end. Leave them wanting more. Above all, consider the audience and write to their needs. Start writing and practicing. Write out your entire address, even if you plan to speak from notes or an outline. The act of writing your script will help you dig into your material and choose more precise words. Decide on your tone and how you should sound in front of the group. Focus on a vocabulary you are comfortable using and choose words for the greatest impact. Use active voice, be positive and draft short sentences. Be careful with pronouns and special effects, such as dialogue. Organize your material and structure your remarks. Supply evidence and use appropriate quotations that support your key points. In your closing, repeat and hammer home the points you want the audience to remember. When you think you are finished writing, go through your speech again and edit without mercy. Remove all the redundancies, cut details that clutter rather than illuminate, and mark up your speaking copy for emphasis or punch. Musicians, athletes, and other professionals obviously spend more time training than performing, so why would you expect to write a speech and deliver it without rehearsing extensively? Going through your presentation repeatedly will help you correct awkward phrasing, alert you to sentences you can trim, and enable you to check the timing of your talk. You can even practice informally by putting phrases from your speech into your conversations with friends. Trim out cliches and banalities. Delivering your presentation. Arrive half an hour before the event starts, regardless of what your position is on the program. Unexpected logistical problems may challenge and delay you. Take the time to solve them before the event gets underway. Confirm that the audience's composition is what you expected. Listen to any speakers who appear before you for information you should adapt to, if necessary. When you begin, do not apologize or repeat parts of your host's introduction. If the audience hasn't had a break in an hour, offer them a few minutes to stretch their legs, they will be grateful. Take a few seconds to look over the entire audience and then begin. Stand at ease and do not grip the podium, because that can impede spontaneous and expressive movement. Do not rattle coins in your pocket. You have prepared and rehearsed your words, now support and emphasize them by using your voice, your face and eyes, and your body language expressively. Talk to the audience as if you were talking to friends at home rather than strangers in a formal setting. Draw them in and you will create a memorable experience. Remember, if the audience likes you, they will forgive you almost anything that might be considered a flaw. Dress a little better and a touch more conservatively than the occasion demands. Avoid handing out your presentation in advance, except in settings where you expect your listeners to take notes. Do not read your speech, but mark points of emphasis on your manuscript. Pause after you make key points and maintain eye contact with every portion of the audience, without following an obvious pattern. Answering audience and media questions. No question and answer (Q&A) session is necessary for very formal speeches. However, if your speech is less than an hour long and the situation warrants it, offer to answer questions at the end of your remarks. If news media representatives are present, arrange to deal with their questions separately from the regular audience, unless you are holding a press conference. Be alert and listen attentively to the questions, so you can answer them crisply. However, do not respond carelessly. Take time to consider what you are going to say. At times it's useful to save some new material for the Q&A session. If you get a questioner who is ill-mannered and antagonistic, remain polite and likable, but do not let an oppositional person take over your time. If the question is loaded, turn it back, ask the questioner a question. Ending early if the audience runs out of questions is perfectly fine. However, if the audience has many questions, offer to stay afterward and take them. Do not run over your allotted time. When media representatives arrive, be yourself and stay relaxed. Listen attentively and be aware of precisely what they are asking. If a question lacks context, try to provide substance in your answer that implies a setting and meaning. If you get a loaded question, leave the loaded parts out of your answer. Add phrases focused on key information and concepts you want to convey. Remain friendly and give brief, simple, and honest answers. When you are around news media representatives, assume that the camera and microphone are always operating. Impromptu remarks, introductions, and being the MC. When you have to give impromptu remarks, relieve your anxiety by remembering that you are attending a meeting on a topic that interests you. You certainly have some expertise on the topic, or they would not have invited you to speak. The key is to note that you have been asked for brief remarks. Provide just one point with a couple of illustrative stories, and then close. If you think you might be called on to make impromptu remarks, take time to prepare in advance. Do not read your prepared remarks or even use notes, practice your delivery so that your remarks will sound spontaneous. When someone asks you to introduce a speaker, don't mistake yourself for the entertainment portion of program. Make a comment about why the topic is important and why this speaker is qualified to speak on the subject. Keep things energized and create an upbeat atmosphere for the speaker. Do everything you can to make the speaker comfortable and welcome. Make him or her look good. If you are supposed to thank the speaker after the speech, listen carefully, make a note or two to characterize the talk, and use any information you gained from talking with the speaker prior to the meeting. Keep the thanks brief, don't use trite comments and don't repeat things the speaker has already said. When you are the master of ceremonies, the most important aspect of your role is to understand the purpose of the occasion and the desires of the organizers. Next, adhere to the schedule and keep things on track. You will be working with a number of people, and you must get their names and roles right. Make sure you know in advance about any announcements you will be making. Award ceremonies. If you are giving an award, briefly introduce yourself in a businesslike and sincere manner, unless someone else already has introduced you. Describe the award and its history, the selection criteria, and why the person being honored was selected. Announce the honoree's name last, even when everyone already knows who it is. Create excitement as you say his or her name. Start the applause with real enthusiasm. If the recipient is flustered, make sure he or she comes to the podium. If you are receiving an award, thank those giving you the recognition and share how you feel. If the award itself hasn't been discussed, tell the audience about it. Offer brief thanks to those who played a major role in helping you achieve this accolade, and let the audience know what your plans are for using and honoring the recognition you have received. Eulogies, toasts and sharing meetings. When you give a eulogy or a toast, speak from the heart, albeit briefly. The audience's attitude toward you will likely be one of gratitude, so you have every chance for success. Still, prepare and rehearse your remarks in advance, then reduce them to notes. In this setting, if a new thought comes to you while you're speaking and it seems appropriate, you should probably share it. Even though toasts seem off the cuff, write them out and practice. You can use notes, if you wish. However, keep the remarks tastefully brief, and be sure that every statement is to the point and will engage the audience. Do not tell a joke. Make eye contact with the audience, and as you finish your toast, turn to the honoree and invite all present to raise their glasses in congratulations. The job of chairing a meeting adds the art of management to the rules of public speaking. You need to make prepared remarks, again, brief, and you also need to listen carefully to everyone else, including other speakers. Keep things focused, make extemporaneous remarks as needed, and call for appropriate short breaks every couple of hours. Ask that any electronic distractions be turned off, assign someone to keep the minutes, follow the agenda, and strive to keep the meeting productive, with actual results. Increase your ability to interest others. Enhance your talk by using illustrations and analogies. Reading is a key to exploring the world beyond your workaday boundaries. At least a quarter of your reading should be unrelated to your work. Take on assignments that challenge your current limits, so that you have new experiences and develop new skills. Match those skills with your developing speaking abilities and a positive attitude about a wider range of people and topics, and your accomplishments will surprise you. While a poor speaking performance or even two are unlikely to damage your career, a pattern of unconvincing speaking efforts will indicate that you cannot persuade and therefore cannot lead. You may not even hear about opportunities that could have come your way if you had developed your speaking ability. Using these methods, you can become an accomplished public speaker, a skill that will enhance your career.